Oh, wow. Yeah, that sounds Turks and Caicos. I mean, I wish. I didn't stay in the city either. I mean, I knew for myself that I needed to get out for, uh, there's just a lot going on for me. My partner, they, they had, for whatever reason, left. They left me, and then they left our apartment. And so it was a lot of me, just a lot of me, which is okay until it wasn't. And then I just started to fold in and fold in and fold in and fold in. And so I temporarily moved to this old German clock on this very old woman's nightstand. This is upstate, sorry, I left that out. And so it was a good clock. Lots of room between the gears, lots of gears, and surprisingly quiet, like no ticking. Because actually the clock, it hadn't been wound in about 3 decades. So I got a lot of reading done. I read a book on love by Bell Hooks, highly recommend. And I thought about reading Infinite Jest. I did a lot of thinking about reading. And of course, there are moments I felt lonely that reminded me of. But this old woman, she would knock and tap on the clock just for familiarity. So I knew she was there in case I needed her, which I thought was a kind gesture. But one night she didn't tap, and the zusammen gehörige woke up. He was this tiny, like really tiny, like teeny tiny little man with glass eyes and fox ears and a little gold cane with this brass orb on top. And he just sprung up from the shadows of the gears, and he was glistening in the moonlight, and I was like, who are you? Ich fühle dich einsam, which translates to, I can feel you're lonely. And it wasn't Y-O-U apostrophe R-E, it was the possessive Y-O-U-R. How long have you been in this clock? Wann wurde es gebaut? When was it built? And your name? Der Zusammengehörige. Zusammengehörige. Der Zusammengehörige. Together, man. Und sie? And you? And so I told him. And he told me that he could make sure that I was never alone, that everything and everyone that I lost, the most recent, he took his tiny hand and put it on my chest and told me that he could tell that I had very recently lost a romantic, right? And he said that he could make sure that I was never lonely again, never alone. And then the old woman knocked on the clock, and just like that, he was gone. And days went by, and the woman, she kept on knocking, and I kept on thinking about him. And then that Hornet murder story was on the news, and that really put me into my head for a while. And I was like, now I gotta deal with that. And then the even more recent story about the millions of cicadas that are just gonna rise from the earth or someplace. And I was like, and now that too. And all the while, the clock's still so quiet because it's not on, it's not working or whatever. And, the old woman, she's knocking on the clock before she goes to bed, but she's tired and old, so you can't really expect much, and so she forgets again. And this time, it's about a month since the last. And like, it's very late one night. And I'm like, der zusammen gehörige. And just like that, Zeus just pops up, little cane and all. And I'm like, sorry. I miss my partner. And this guy, with his bright, shiny smile, he says, Schluck mich, swallow me. And so, without thinking, without really much of anything, really, I just swallow him. And the old woman, she hears me choking. She pulls me out of the clock and tries to Heimlich me, but I wound up just inhaling more and pushing him down into my stomach. And then she kicked me out. And well, it didn't bring my partner back, which is okay. I think it's really seriously, it's okay because now because I have this zusammengehörige in my stomach. And he actually was in Germany when the Neuschwanstein castle was built and when the Berlin Wall fell and through all of their wars, and he saw the dodo bird before it left us. And he was there at the execution of Joachim Andreas von Schlick. And I mean, the list goes on. And now he lives in me. And every ab and zu, I can feel him just like kicking around in my bauch. And I feel like I won't know loneliness. Like it's just some word I heard once and not something I don't even remember feeling it, really. So yeah, at the start of this whole quarantine thing was really challenging, but we really have the hang of it now. Oh, we.